All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Highruler, and today's video is going to be covering the weekly developer update for Suicide Squad. Now, I've seen some things already being talked about, and I already kind of have an idea of where things are going to go for this one. And I'm sure I'm going to have all the positive things to say. And it's unfortunate because, like, I want to say positive things, not out of jest or out of sarcasm. I really want to say positive things. But if this update is as what people have said it is, I'm sure I'm not going to have many positive things to say. So they say, greetings, people in Metropolis. It's been another busy week here at Rocksteady, and we're firing on all cylinders to get Season 1 to you, make gameplay improvements, and most importantly right now, tackle remaining issues. Let's start by going over this week's patch. Most recent patch. This week we published a patch focused on tackling the loading Metropolis issue that appeared the week before. This issue was causing some players to experience extended loading times upon completing a mission. Our data indicates this issue has now been entirely resolved, and we haven't seen any players report experiencing this issue since the patch. As was most likely apparent from the fact that this patch only contained one change. This was a hotfix aimed at one issue. Therefore, other changes and resolved issues awaiting release section cannot be included, but we are aiming to include these fixes in upcoming patches. I mean, yeah, I did tell people to kind of expect this, but I also expected another patch this week too, right? Like, I didn't think this week was only going to have a hotfix, and I figured that there'd be some other things coming, right? I have always said, and we're going to talk about this because it's in the next patch section, that, you know, of course, when the mastery stuff is just fixed awaiting release, it seems like just try and get it out, right? Like, try to get people into the end game that aren't able to. And it's unfortunate that, like, all we got this week was one hotfix and nothing else for people who are still experiencing issues. But let's get into the part that everyone's talking about. Next patch. We're aware that many of you are eagerly awaiting our next patch for bug fixes and gameplay improvements, especially the mutator changes. We're excited to get those changes into the game, and we're hard at work getting them ready. Our main focus right now is getting the whole game ready to receive our free Season 1 update this month, which includes the new playable character Joker, as well as new gear, environments, and more. As a result, we won't be releasing a patch next week as we dedicate ourselves to texting fixes and making sure they're ready for implementation. Yeah, this is, you know what? I'm sorry, man. But, like, I'm getting close to just being off the ride at this point because I have not been able to progress the end game since I bought the damn game, right? We are just at a month now. That's a month I haven't been able to play a section of the game. You're still at a point where people still can't log in and play the game. I'm sorry. But when I said in these prior videos that my mastery stuff was going to be fixed at the launch of Season 1, I was just being sarcastic. I wanted that fixed before. I wasn't trying to predict the future. I wasn't trying to kind of look into my crystal ball, which is my forehead, and say they're going to fix it when Joker launches, and I got to wait for that because that is now over a month. That is ridiculous. I'm sorry, man. I know game dev is hard. I know they're probably crunching. I know everything is going on there. But, like, I paid for a product and I can't enjoy part of that product. I'm sorry. Like, it is what it is, man. It's frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating for the people who are trying to work on the damn game. It's frustrating for the people who are trying to fucking play the damn game. And it's starting to get to the point now where it's laughable. It is. I'm sorry. It's laughable. And maybe I'm just now turning into the biggest hater in the world. But this is just ridiculous at this point. So whatever. Obviously, you know, for people who thought that the Season 1 launch was going to be next week alongside the Epic Game Store release, I thought that could be plausible as well. I mean, that idea is out of the water too, right? So, you know, who knows, right? So let's just keep talking. I'm just frustrated now. Having said that, we are investigating several possible fixes for both login and multiplayer issues that would not require a client-side patch to bridge us to the next patch. We will keep the community updated on this potential fix in our Discord. I have talked about recently that when it comes to a lot of this stuff, when it comes to technical things and hurdles and things that you have to kind of look into, if you're not able to recreate it and kind of get it on your own systems, it can be very hard to kind of figure it out, patch it, and then test those fixes, right? It seems like still they're having a hard time investigating what is actually happening. And I think what we're seeing here is that maybe they have an idea of what is happening, but they don't know if they can fix it without a patch. And I think while obviously it's good that they're still working on it and investigating it, I think after a month, you would hope they'd be able to kind of give some more concrete information into what is happening and some more concrete information to next steps for people who still can't play the game. There's people in my comment section who still can't play this game, and all they're looking for is some information about, like, what's happening for them, right? Like, I'm sorry, but, like, this is now a month. Like any other game where you buy it and you can't play it for a month, I think people would have something. They would be given something. They'd have some sort of information, you know, like it's kind of crazy that these people are holding on week after week, and now they're being told, like, yeah, sorry guys, maybe not next week. And it's just like, for real? Like, I don't know, man. I'm really starting to become a hater here. Status of current issues. We believe the biggest issues this week are still login, matchmaking, and mastery progression issues. Those are still three of the biggest, if not every other issue that you guys can have in this game right now, whether it comes to like graphical or maybe an enemy's doing this or any behavior or the boom. I'm sorry, man, but like these are all so lower on the priority list than these login, matchmaking, master progression issues. I'm sorry. If you can't log into the game, you're fucked. If you have master progression issues, you can't log into your solo, end game experience, you're fucked. Then if you want to go play the multiplayer bullshit, that's fucked too. What the fuck are you supposed to do? I'm sorry, but like your boom enemies blowing up at the end game is not as important as these three issues here. This should still be all hands on deck. I'm sorry. And the fact that they still haven't released this fix, which is a fix and just awaiting to be released in an upcoming patch, that's bullshit. Like, that's actually bullshit. What they should have said is that we're aiming to release this with Season 1, because that's what's going to happen here. Bullshit. Login issues. As mentioned above, we are investigating a fix to the affected player's profile that would allow them to log into the game that would not require a full client-side patch. Further fixes are being investigated for future patches. Matchmaking issues. Same as login issues, we are investigating a fix to the affected player profiles that would allow them to join multiplayer sessions which would not require a full client-side patch. We're also exploring server improvements to help tackle lag issues when playing in multiplayer. And this is why I don't even want to try to play online, right? My mastery is still locked. Can't do shit about it. It's fucked. Whatever. I try to play online. That shit is like some of the worst online experiences ever. Like, what am I, back in like fucking, I'm 10 years old playing SOCOM 2 again? Like, I've played better multiplayer servers since I've been 10 years old. I'm 30 now. Like, you would like to think that this shit would actually be ironed out and working and not lagging to the point where it's fucking, I have people on Twitter saying it's cooked. Like, yeah, it's cooked. It's fucking, it's not raw anymore. It's fucking well done. It's fucking chewy as all hell. Like, what the fuck? We've also noticed reports of some players unable to progress through the raising health tiers. We've identified several accounts affected by this issue and are looking to a fix currently. Thank you all who reported this issue. And then they go on to talk about some other shit. You know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sure this is all great meta tips and looks like, a nice little build there and some focus feedback. Like that's cool. I'm sure that's all great. And I'm sure it's all lovely. I don't give a fuck. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm frustrated, and I think this is probably one of the worst updates that they've talked about. Yeah, they teased that obviously the update's still coming in March, so people were like, oh, it's going to be delayed or canceled. Like, obviously not, right? But, like, you don't give the people who want to play the game anything to go on here. There are still people who are avid fans of the game who want to play it, and what the fuck do they get? They get nothing. No stick, no nothing. It's just like, yeah, like some people are still fucked. We'll see if we can fix it next week. Other than that, we'll fucking come back to you guys in 2 weeks here. We'll come back around. Like, come the fuck on, guys. Come on. Like, I must have the worst luck when it comes to, picking live service games here. I pick some of the buggiest, some of the worst communication. Like, this is ridiculous now. I'm like 0 for 2. Like, what games are you guys playing that are live service that have fun? Because, like, I'm apparently just picking the wrong ones here. So let me know in the comments, what the fuck are you guys playing? And what games out there that give consistent updates that are fun, that are actually, like, handled well? And let me know, because I'm getting off the train here soon, because this shit can't keep happening. Like, this shit is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but, like, we're all just being strung along here while they try to figure out what's going on. I actually don't believe this is fixed. I don't believe the mastery is fixed and waiting to release. If it is, they should have just told us that it's coming in season 1, because at this point, it's very apparent it's coming in season 1, and we're just being fucking dicked along here. So that's all I got for you guys today. Kind of a rant video, but I'm pissed. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.